Today, I'm back with another Mega Monthly Preview video for you all. Today, we're talking the hottest physical media releases to come out in the entire month of January. This includes 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, steelbooks, slipcovers, all that great stuff. We're talking about those new title releases, and I will list prices probably for the highest level format. But of course, if you decide to pre-order anything and you go through a link, it's easy just to click on the other format to see that listing's price. But let's go ahead and get into the list of bangers here. But before we do that, of course, you're joining the channel here for the first time. Definitely go ahead and turn on that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you're alerted when a new monthly preview video posts. And of course, everybody go ahead and blockbust that like button and share out the video if you can to get the message out about these amazing physical media releases. But let's, like I said, get into the list of bangers for January 7th. That's the first Blu-ray Tuesday here. We do have 7, which is probably the hottest release of the month, in my opinion. Now, the 4K digital standard slipcover here, $26.62. Now, that's not a bad price for this movie. It's one of the greatest, I guess, mystery thrillers of all time, you could say. I really enjoy this one. So if you like police procedural type of films, you're going to enjoy this one as well. Now, there's steelbook options out there. Now, the steelbook seemed a little pricey on Amazon at the $37.99 marker. I believe there was a steelbook listed on Groove for about $25 when I was looking at Black Friday deals not too long ago. So I don't know if that price has changed, but if they do have a steelbook cheaper option on Groove, I would definitely go that way. Next up, we do have Saturday Night on Blu-ray and digital, $31.99. Now, yeah, I know that's a hefty price for a Blu-ray, but I'm sure these prices will be adjusted closer to release date, so don't be too scared by these prices here. But Saturday Night Live was awesome. It's really cool. It's like, how is the sausage made? How is SNL made? That first episode of SNL, I thought it was fascinating. And the acting performances here, like, it was uncanny. It was just so great to see how these performances just related so much to their real life counterparts. It was like, oh my gosh, this is wild. So I really like that movie. It definitely was edge of your seat for me. Next up, we got Sanctum on 4K. Now, I believe this is a boutique release here. I'm not sure either Scream or Kino Lorber, but $30.49. And I don't know anything about this movie. It looks like underwater horror, but it says from executive producer James Cameron. So they're really trying to sell you on that. I don't know if that means a whole lot here because he wasn't like the regular producer or the director. So, yeah, is that a good sign or a terrible sign? You guys will have to let me know. But those are the hottest titles for that week, of course. Now we're moving on to the following Blu-ray Tuesday, January 14th. And we got Snowpiercer 4K Steelbook, $34.99. And I believe this is an Amazon exclusive Steelbook, so that's pretty cool to see more Amazon exclusives out there. Now, the Steelbook does look like pretty cool artwork for the movie. Now, I don't remember if I've seen this one. I think it's an action thriller, if I remember correctly. But yeah, not the best price. I would like to see that about $10 cheaper, but maybe in the future. Next up, we got Chinatown on 4K and digital. Now, this is just a standard release here. We got a Paramount Presents title way back when that came with a Blu-ray of the sequel. Oh man, I wish I would have caught that one. But if you just want Chinatown in 4K standard Slippy here, I believe $23.19 is not a terrible deal. And I actually haven't seen this movie. Jack Nicholson, crime drama, I believe. I need to see it. I hear it's one of the greatest of all times for that subgenre. So yeah, sometime I will get this one. Or maybe if I can still find the Paramount Presents one, because I do want to see the sequel as well. Next up, we got Once Upon a Time in the West on 4K Blu-ray and digital, $22.37. This, of course, looks like a Western movie. I'm not the biggest Western fan in the world. There are a handful I really enjoy, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and The Magnificent Seven, but I just haven't seen this one yet. Would you guys recommend this one to me? Is this one that would make like top Western charts of all time list, or is it more mid-level? You guys will have to let me know. Next up, we got Incubus on 4K Ultra HD, of course, $33.59 Arrow release. Now, I don't know anything about this one. I don't know if it's more fantasy, sci-fi, action-like, but it has William Shatner in it, which caught my attention. The Star Trek guy, oh my gosh, I feel like I should check out this movie just because of that. But once again, you guys will have to recommend it to me if it's in my wheelhouse. All right, next up, the following Blu-ray Tuesday, and this one is filled with a ton of good releases here. We got January 21st. We got The Substance on 4K, 29.49. Now, I'm hearing great things about this movie. It's the best horror movie of the year. It is top-notch body horror. I totally missed it in theaters. It was a very limited release, so I haven't seen it yet. And it's being released by either a studio or label I've never heard of. So I don't know what this release is going to contain, if it's going to be like really worth it, or should I wait on a price drop. Once again, this is one you guys will have to let me know on, but I'm very darn curious on that one. And next up, we got the Cell 4K 49.95. This is an Arrow release here, and the cast caught my attention here with like Jennifer Lopez in this one, so I'm like, ooh, okay, all right. Vincent D'Onofrio, I think, maybe as well. So yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by this title. Have not yet seen it, but I'm guessing it's a sci-fi movie. Next up, we got Vampires on 4K, I believe from Scream Factory, 33.99. Now, I don't own this in the collection at all. I actually have never seen this movie. I believe it's a John Carpenter title. And I do want all the John Carpenter slipcovers from Scream Factory. So maybe I'll wait on a little bit of a price drop there, but I definitely want to get into the collection at some point. Hey, what's your guys' favorite John Carpenter title out there in the comments, by the way? Next up, we're going to have Venom: The Last Dance on the 4K digital steelbook here, 48.49. Now, I'm disgusted on this price. I'm not going to give too many more details here because I did a whole video ranting on this release. And I think you guys should check out that video after this one's over. So I will link it at the end and in the description below if you have missed that one. Next up, we're going to have Smile 2 on 4K Ultra HD. Standard Slippy here, 25.19. There is also a steelbook option if you want that one. That one definitely looks pretty creepy. But Smile 2, I saw it in theaters. I did enjoy this one overall. I believe Naomi Watts, right, was the main actress there. I thought it was really creative and inventive where they went with the Smile mythology. I loved how it ended. I just really would like probably both Smile movies in the collection because this one was just such a strong sequel entry. So yeah, that one definitely made me smile as a horror fan. I can say that for sure. Next up, another movie that kind of gave me a small grin in theaters was The Last Voyage of the Demeter on 4K from Scream Factory. So happy I waited for the 4K release. I did not pick up the Blu-ray because I know Universal plays those dirty, dirty tricks. So happy Scream Factory picked this one up. 32.99, still a little bit pricey. Gonna wait for a price drop or bundle it up in a sale some point. But I actually did like this one. It was like a chapter of the Dracula story where they're transporting Dracula on a ship, and of course all these horror shenanigans ensue. But I really like this one. I thought it was gonna be hot garbage, and it's actually pretty darn entertaining as a horror fan. So I would recommend checking that one out for sure. Next up, we got April Fool's Day on 4K. I believe this is a Kino Lorber release here, if I'm not mistaken. 33.49. Actually, never seen this one, but hey, it looks like a classic horror slasher for April. You know, I need more movies for April, so why not? Why not? Hopefully, it is pretty darn good. Next up, we're gonna have Reindeer Games on 4K as well. I believe this is a Kino Lorber release too, if I'm not mistaken, 31.78. I have not seen this one at all, but I've heard great things. It's like an alternative Christmas title, an action thriller in a way, and I think it has Ben Affleck in this one, right? Definitely gets me very curious, so I gotta check it out eventually. And next up, we got here on Blu-ray and digital, 31.99. Now let me get on my soapbox here for you guys. This is the title I'm gonna most heavily promote this month because I absolutely love this movie in theaters. Nobody saw it, but I thought it was really inventive how they used certain technology and like how they just did it in a one setting location. You know, Bobby Zemeckis directed this movie, and I just thought it was fascinating how they looked at these different generations through different times through this one setting location. And Tom Hanks really good in there. The de-aging technology is fantastic. And this movie got me emotional, pretty teary-eyed by the end of it. So I just think it was the most emotionally impactful movie of the year, in my opinion, at least from what I can remember right now. So I would recommend checking out here on Blu-ray. Now, would I do it for $31.99? Probably not. I'd probably wait for, $10 off of that, but it'll get there. It'll get cheaper, I'm sure. Especially if it gets to $15. I would highly encourage most people to pick that one up. It's just such a good, like I said, emotional drama, but just how it's filmed was so creative. All right, got off my soapbox. We are moving on to the next following Blu-ray Tuesday, the last of the month. We got January 28th. We do have The Keep on 4K, 49.98. Now, this is just a standard release from Vinegar Syndrome, I believe. I know they did a fancy box, and that totally sold out really quick. And I had a chance to get that box. I was there midnight. I'm like, I can get this one. But I looked at the trailer, and to me, it just looked boring. It just did not look good. And I'm a horror fan, but like I'm pretty picky on my horror. Like you got to be really like solid horror with at least a decent budget. And I don't know, the trailer wasn't selling me. Maybe you guys can sell me on it in the comments below. Another one that I'm guessing is like that, but I don't know if I even watched the trailer on this one is Congo on 4K, 49.98. It looks like a cool cover, but is this once again, just very low budget sea level horror? Because that is definitely not my wheelhouse. I really want to find the best of horror out there. So you guys gotta try to convince me in the comments below. Next up, we got Winchester 73 from the Criterion Collection. 4008. Now, I would not pick it up at this price. Wait for next Criterion sale season in July, most likely. But I did have to mention this one because this needs to get on people's radar. I have not seen the movie, but it's a Jimmy Stewart Western. I love Jimmy Stewart as an actor, man. He was so good as a classic actor, and he was really good, in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. So if this is in that wheelhouse, I do want to check this one out. I might just buy this next Criterion sale season. So just put it on your radar. Next up, something that may be on a lot of people's radars is Hundreds of Beavers 2934. Now, I keep hearing like really good things about this movie. I saw the trailer. It looks really weird and bonkers. People dressed up in beaver costumes. I'm guessing it's like a comedy satire of sorts, but I don't want to pay $30 on a blind buy of it. But if it got to like under 20, maybe, just maybe. But a lot of people say they're loving that one, like a really art house kind of film. So at least it's on people's radar now. I can for sure say that. But another title I got to get on people's radar is going to be Chris Claremont's X-Men 32.99. This looks to be like a documentary on a really famous comic book writer for the X-Men line. And I love the X-Men movies. I like the X-Men comics overall from what I know of them. I'm not going to say I'm a comic aficionado, but just X-Men are great for superhero lovers out there. And I love documentaries, and I like documentaries on superhero stuff. Of course, Mega Mike the Movie Man makes sense. I do want to check that one out at some point. It's just a Blu-ray, I believe, though. So $32.99, a little hefty on that. Let's see if it gets a price drop in the future. But there we go. Those are the hottest titles that are coming out in the entire month of January. There's definitely some really good gems in there. So if you do decide to pre-order anything, pick anything up after the fact, I mean, those Amazon affiliate links are in the description below. Just go ahead and go through a link. And if you want to buy anything else, other movies I haven't even talked about, or even a pair of shoes out there, as long as you initially go through an Amazon affiliate link, it does give me credit to the channel. So I greatly appreciate you for doing that because it don't cost you anything extra. And of course, if you haven't already, go ahead and mega blockbuster that like and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you're alerted when a new Physical Media Monthly video posts, of course. Have a great day watching and talking the movies. Once again, if you haven't checked out that rant video on the Venom The Last Stand Steelbook price, definitely go ahead and mega smash that right now. And thank you so much, my Mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.